Hello everyone, welcome back to another Transformers review. Now as you can see, and obviously by the title of this review, I'm doing the Prime RID vehicon. Now this is, as a character, is obviously Megatron's main foot soldier in this modern cartoon. First off, getting to the actual sort of accessories you get with him, you get one black gun, which, if I put my hand there, see if I can get the camera to focus in. Is it going to oblige? There you go. It's a reasonable sort of design thing. You get the light on it, you can see the detail that they've bothered to mould into it. This isn't obviously like the arms micron, which I believe you get a bit more sticker detail with the arms microns, but again, quite a nice sort of neatly moulded little gun. Now it does have a peg on the back, which does peg in to the ports on the side of the gun, and obviously it just mainly looks better on the one side, like so. So you can have a side cannon to the car. Now, putting that to one side for now, have a look at the car mode. Now, the car mode itself, I think, is lovely. It does look very similar to the actual character in the cartoon itself. Very Batmobile-esque, if you'd like. Nice that on this sort of Prime toy they bothered to put some silver on the wheels, which again is a nice touch. They didn't bother on some of the other ones, such as Rumble, and I don't think Wheeljack. No, Wheeljack has got silver, but some of the other Prime line, they haven't bothered to paint the wheels, and I think it's a sad sort of thing really that they don't bother, because it does make them look so much better. Now, other nice touches that they've done to this guy, you've got clear plastic for the lights on the front, with a little bit of purple showing through, which again really just adds a little nice touch to it. A tiny little Decepticon logo on the front. If I can get that to focus in, is it going to oblige? There you go. Look how detailed that is. The size of that is minute, yet that is a printed on Decepticon logo. That's fantastic, and I love all of the checkered mesh effect on the front as well. It looks really good. Really mean Decepticon looking vehicle. Again, Batmobile-esque, because it's got a spoiler at the back, and a nice bit of purple picked out as well in the grooves on the back end. Really do like this mode. Not really showing hardly any obvious robot kibble underneath. Obviously you can see stuff because of the transformation, it's going to need it, but as a standalone vehicle mode, that is fantastic. So neat and kibble free. Really great toy. Now the transformation again is wonderful on this guy. For the amount of panelling that you've got there to make up the car body, you could say at least 60% of it you don't see when he's in robot mode, and that alone makes this a fantastic transformation. Quite simple once you get the hang of it, but not that simple to start with. Once you've got to really get to grips with how some of these panels connect together and stuff, and especially the side doors, the joints on the arms can be a little bit of a pig to work out if you haven't done them for a while, but I shall get to the transformation now. First of all, what you've got to do is release these back sections, like the back rear wings of the car. Now they release via two large pegs. Now if I turn that so the light shines through, you can see the lower peg, which pegs in down below, and you can see a top peg which pegs into the top side, up the top here, of the back wings of the car. Now you need to sort of pull them out and back, and they are pegged in on the front of the leading edge of the door, which would be the hinge end. So you just got to release that peg as well, which is behind that front wing. Now getting those out to the side, you just want to leave those alone for now, and you want to take the top of the car from the spoiler end, flip that right over like so, exposing the whole of the effectively top of the car out in front. This now needs to be unclipped. Now it is clipped in several positions, so it's worth noting. It's clipped on the spoiler, it's clipped together there on the roof section, it's clipped together there on the clear plastic section, and it's clipped together there on the front bonnet section. Now first of all, like I say, start from the spoiler end, just having to sort of wiggle the clips apart. The clear one does pop out a little bit easier, which is better for you. And as you can see, once I've taken it apart, you can see all those pegs on both sort of sides there, and obviously pegs and holes. They connect really well and do line up everything nicely. Now this is the main thing. Obviously that looks horrendous as it is there, but this is so neat. You turn the spoiler over, you turn the roof section over, and then you flip that over. So effectively you've just folded up the roof and the windscreen all into the bonnet section. Now inside what was the inside of the car, you've got this purple section with a black section. And I'll show you that from the side as well so you can see it like so. Focus is back, and you just need to pull them down and flip the black section out of it, and then that in turn, I'll show you the underneath of it, has got just a stubby peg there, and that connects to the little hole on the roof of the car. Push it in, lock it in position. This now has formed the foot, and as you can see you've got a heel spur effectively and the toe. Now it looks a little bit unwieldy, but it does actually give it a reasonably stable foot. The front wing part of the car just needs to be sort of revolved around a little bit, and it just sort of sits on an angle, and that's the leg transformed. I'll do the same quickly on this side, so just fold in the sections up and together, fold the top piece down, lock it in place, fold out the foot, and that's his legs done. Just a little bit of sort of straightening up and positioning, and you've effectively got his legs, and there he is standing there. Love the transformation, and when you consider that that's, you know, a good sort of 50% of the panelling of the car, it doesn't look like a lot of car panels. Obviously you've got the little ones on the side with the wheels, but the rest of it's pretty neat and pretty tidy there. Really do like that. And I love the fact that when you consider how much purple is now visible on his legs, if I bring those in, you know, you don't see that in the robot mode. Sorry, in the vehicle mode. You only get that at the robot mode. And even things like the knee sort of spikes, the extra bit of detailing and that, really do love that. A little bit of purple again printed in on the shin as well, and obviously the purple plastic of the sort of foot area, ankle area. Again, really nice. Now to the arms, it's quite simple again. You've got a joint sort of which is about where the door would end. It's a very complicated joint. It's got 3 actual sort of like ways of movement. Now you have to unpeg it from the back like so by tilting it down. It's a little bit difficult to see because it's black. Tilt it down to release it, and then on the inside you've got one joint which swivels at the top. You've got another metal pin joint which again gives you a swivel, and then you've got a ball joint, so you just need to pull them out and sort of straighten them up. It's a little bit sort of like of a wonky elbow, but it actually sort of works and gives you a bit of a sort of like a, I'm trying to think what to describe it, a bit of a sort of, I suppose the best way to describe it is a bit of an evil look, a bit of almost like he's going to swipe at you. It's that sort of appearance to the arm. Now you can see there on this swivel joint you've got a hand what just folds out, and like I say, just a little bit of positioning, and you end up, you've got his arm there. Now I'll quickly do that on this side, because now I've shown you it, you don't really need to see it twice. Bring that around, and as I say, you've got tons of movement with it, so you can put them in all kinds of positions without any trouble. Now the last part, which is the back of the car, you just take that down to the back, and as you take it down, his head pops up, automorphs into position, and it just clips into position. His head does pop a little bit forward, so he's got again that sort of evil sort of leering sort of like well, not an expression because he hasn't really got an expression, but that leery sort of look, like if he's going to come at you. Again, love the whole design of it. The big shoulder sort of pad parts, well, you can sort of live with that. It kind of adds that sort of bat-like sort of quality to the look of him. He's got a great face sculpt. If I just lift the camera up a little bit and bring this guy in, let that focus in for you. He has got a really nice evil look to his face, and again you can see a nice bit of silver behind clear plastic with the Decepticon logo for his chest as well. Really do like that. Really nice detail in it. The chest as well, done with purple paint apps or paint, or in some places such as like the ball joints on the hips, purple plastic itself, and the hands. Really do like it. Really great toy. He does obviously hold his weapon in this mode. You've got the peg, and it does hold in his hand, so it can hold it like a conventional gun, like so. But also he does have on that, and make it a little bit more like in the cartoon where their hands turn into the guns, there's a little clip under there, if I can get that to focus. You see that clip there? There is a place. Now what you need to do is fold his hand back round, and then on his arm, if I bring that in, you'll just see that indent there. Now that, if you line it up with those two there, will, with a bit of pressure, it does take a fair bit to actually get it to work. It's not the easiest. You hear it when it clicks, like it just did, but you then get more of an arm cannon, and it's a little bit neater and a bit more like it's just folded out from his bodywork. Out of the two, I actually prefer him holding the gun, because I think that looks a little bit stubby, and as much as you can bring the other hand up, like if he's holding the weapon as well, I kind of like the extra sort of thing that it is actually a separate weapon. I'm a bit old-fashioned in the fact that although the G1s did have integral sort of guns and gizmos in their arms in the cartoon, a lot of them obviously in so much of the toy line did have separate guns, so I kind of like the fact that they actually got a separate weapon. But you know, it's horses for courses. I can't see the sort of logic in the fact his arm becomes a gun, yet you can put the gun on the car, so that would mean the gun would have to fold out the side of the car, but that's just me. But as a toy, and as a member of the Prime line toy line, he is probably one of my favourites. Possibly what I deem the best for the transformation. I have seen several others that my nephew's got. He's got most of the Prime line, including some of the Japanese ones, and out of all of them, he is definitely my favourite, certainly in the Decepticon line. Wheeljack is pretty close to that in the Autobot lineup for quality and the actual transformation. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this review. I know this is a figure that's been reviewed quite a bit. I thought I'd do this as a little review, and also to check out that my webcam is working a little bit better. I've turned the sound down on the microphone, so hopefully it's picking it up without too much hiss, and also checking out that the quality is a little bit better generally. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed the review. I shall no doubt see you again for a haul vid or another review if I don't get out to any boot fairs this weekend. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you again.